Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. Some breaking news once again on UFL workouts for your Cowboys. Per Nick Harris of Cowboys.com, 4 more players getting workouts today with the Dallas Cowboys. Those have already been wrapped up, I believe, at this point. 3 of them are pass rushers. Jonathan Garvin of the Stallions, who had been reported earlier last week, seems like for whatever reason that got delayed, happened today. Wyatt Ray of the San Antonio Brahmas, Derick Roberson of the DC Defenders, and then John Lovett of the San Antonio Brahmas as well. We'll break down all 4 of those players and who the heck they are, but if and when the Cowboys make another move on one of these players, we will have a video for you. So do not miss out. Hit that sub button for free Cowboys videos every single day right here on the channel. Let's begin with the first of these. That's Jonathan Garvin of the Stallions, who has played a decent amount with, of course, UFL and some in the NFL as well. He was a 7th-round pick back in 2020 out of Miami, spent multiple years with the Green Bay Packers, then spent this past season with the Birmingham Stallions. He did play some in the NFL, which is a common trend for all of these pass rushers we are discussing. This past year in the UFL, only had 3.5 sacks and 1 TFL, but one of the better underlying metrics for, hey, is the guy going to get better, have better production? He had a 14.4% pressure rate. That's pretty good. Now, I'll put the caveat on every single one of these guys. They face an uphill battle to make an NFL roster because they've had NFL chances previously, and they didn't do that great. That's why they're available coming from the UFL. Garvin played 38 games, predominantly on special teams as a backup role. 1 TFL, 1.5 sacks, 2 pass breakups at least, but only a 9% pressure rate. I'll repeat myself a few times, but I'll say it one time here early too. If any of these guys we're talking about is going to make the roster, it's pretty much going to have to be via special teams. So that is an important factor. Bones Fossil has just as much, if not more, influence than Mike Zimmer and or Mike McCarthy as to who makes this 53-man roster, plus, Will McClay, etc. So prediction time. Cowboys have open roster spots. They can sign these guys, multiple of them, with no moves needed. Will the Cowboys sign any of these players? Y for yes, N for no. It's the pinned comment, so if an ad comes, great, ignore it. Go vote Y or N. Next up is Wyatt Ray. And there might not be, he has a chance, it's a tough chance. He has a chance to become the Josh Johnson of pass rushers. Wyatt Ray is the ultimate journeyman pass rusher. Boston College product, played for 4 teams in 2019. The Browns, Texans, Bills, and Jets. The majority of those all being, practice squad, off-season, training camp roles, preseason stuff. Jets and Titans in 2020, was on the Bengals in 2021, Jags a second stint with the Titans in 2022, the Denver Broncos in 2023, and then the San Antonio Brahmas this past season. He has played 23 NFL regular season games, 4 with the Titans in 2020, 15 with the Bengals in 2021, 3 with Denver in 2022, and another one with Tennessee in 2022. The majority of his production, 15 of the tackles and 1 of the sacks, came with the Bengals. Again, predominantly was a special teamer. He actually played 69 snaps on special teams in 2021. Did play a decent amount of defensive snaps in 2021 too with the Bengals, but a god-awful 4% pressure rate, which is about as low as you're going to see. The situations involved weren't always the best, but it was not very good. He was much more productive, though, this past year with the UFL. He is a skinnier build. You can kind of see it in that photo. He's not the biggest guy, so maybe he kind of fits that edge linebacker hybrid, the Sam linebacker, maybe even, that I think you'll see more of Mike Zimmer. Better production than Garvin had this past year in the UFL. Got a new sponsor here on the Cowboys Report. It is True Nutrition. If you're buying protein powder or other supplements, you should be concerned about the ingredients. It is not a secret that the supplement industry is not heavily regulated, and many products on the market have fillers or even harmful chemicals in them. That is why I am excited to have True Nutrition on board. It can be really hard to find the right protein powder to match your body and fitness goals. That's why with True Nutrition, you can create your own fully customizable protein powder mix with the exact ingredients you want based on your activity, taste, diet, and goals. This is truly sports nutrition designed by you with the highest quality products possible and no BS. It is ready in just minutes. It's got pure ingredients. It is nutritious and delicious. And that's a big deal for me, by the way. I don't want this stuff to taste just like powder. This is the French vanilla. I've got one that's strawberry sorbet, cookie butter, and chocolate peanut butter cup as well. Taste matters to me, and True Nutrition delivers there. For a limited time, you guys can get 15% off your entire order when you use code CHAT at checkout. That's 15% off your order at truenutrition.com with promo code CHAT, C-H-A-T. Take the guesswork out of nutrition with True Nutrition. That link and code will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Next up is Derick Roberson, another DC defender player that the Cowboys are working out here. Roberson, again, a pass rusher, not the biggest guy necessarily either. Sam Houston State product. He has played a decent amount too, predominantly, in fact, all of his NFL snaps, with the Tennessee Titans. Brief stint in Houston in 2022, then stuck around in Houston with the Roughnecks the following season of the XFL, the Defenders then this past season. 4.5 sacks for Derick Roberson in his NFL career. 6 TFLs, that was in a total of 16 games played. So it was basically a season's worth of snaps for Roberson. All 16 of those games, that did include one start, by the way, came with the Tennessee Titans. 10% pressure rate for Roberson. So again, we're a little bit better than some of the others. 3 of the sacks came in his first season and minimal playing time. 147 special team snaps. He only played 8 games in 2020, but of those 8 games he played, he almost had a 45% snap count. So he has played some in the NFL. Better pressure rate from pass rushing perspective. And the other 2 guys, both in the NFL and in the UFL. 4.5 sacks, 4 TFLs this past season for the DC Defenders. 16.1% pressure rate as well. I don't think it's an accident that 3 of these guys that are getting worked out are pass rushers. That's a pretty big sign to me that they're looking for another one. You know, Micah Parsons is going to play a lot of pass rusher. Don't misinterpret that, to be clear. Chauncey Golston or Junior Fehoko, I think one of those guys is going to be a DT. So that's one spot gone. Tyrus Sweet and Byron Vaughns are probably going to get some off-ball linebacker reps that they kind of did last year. At least Wheat did. And Vaughns kind of was getting off-ball reps at minicamp and OTA. So your pure pass rushers kind of come down to Tank Lawrence, Sam Williams, Marshawn, Kneeland, Durrell Johnson. Tank ain't going to play in the preseason. Williams won't play every snap either. You actually probably are looking for one more guy as a pure pass rusher just to get through the preseason. Now, that doesn't move the needle very much in terms of impact, but I wouldn't be surprised if they added one. Finally, there's John Lovett, the running back of the Brahmas. Now, there's some confusion that came along with this for very valid reasons we'll get to here in a minute. But I want your honest answers. How many of these players have you heard of? I have no life, / this is my life, so I legitimately have heard of all 4. How many of you have heard of? 0 is a very viable answer. Let me know in the comments. I would also allow 5 as an answer because there are actually 2 John Lovetts that exist in the NFL. One of them is more of an H-back. He's like a fullback, tight end, H-back hybrid. He was last with the Miami Dolphins, got hurt 2022, I believe. Injury settlement, hasn't played since then. One of them is a running back who was at Baylor. Maybe some of you guys know him through that. Penn State, Panthers, Steelers. He was in the UFL this past season. This is the running back. I had to double check with Nick. And hey, it's the UFL one, right? Not the other guy. There's 2 of them. What are the odds, right? I mean, like Lovett's a common name, you know. Look, running back is clearly an area of concern for this team. That they don't have great options. A concern here, when it comes to Lovett, he's already on the journeyman path, right? Had a stint very briefly with Carolina in the preseason in 2022. Had what amounts to a cup of coffee with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Was with the Vegas Vipers in the XFL in 2023. The Brahmas this past year in 2024. He did do some decent stuff with the Brahmas this year. 103 carries, 423 yards, an okay 4.1 average, 5 touchdowns. He did get some preseason run with Carolina in 2022. It wasn't good. 23 carries, 57 yards. That's a really bad average. The UFL running back market didn't really intrigue me, but you might as well at least work somebody out. Expectations of him making the roster, though, would be pretty low.